morning, Oilers. Welcome back to another episode of Campus Update. First off, Nate is giving us a look at what happens behind the scenes of the media team.
Howdy, Oilers. As a part of our media class, we were able to volunteer to film the 10-minute plays written and produced by APPA's dramatic production class.
So what that means is we're going to take about 6 to 7 people in there, and we're going to have our guy in the chair, probably me, and then 2 other camera operators, an audio mixer, and anyone else to be there for helping us. And we're going to film all of the 10-minute plays on Thursday and Friday night when they're being shown.
We're cooking.
The shows were great. We got some amazing footage of it, but this isn't something that media students normally do.
If we're in the theater, we're filming a concert, or we're on a film set in a different context. You know, it's not usually like the theater environment, whether it be the black box or the actual main stage theater. So it's a very unique and cool thing to do, and it's always a blast. It's always super entertaining. Things get changed up so quick. You never know what's coming next. The plays are hilarious. The plays are gut-wrenching. They're beautifully written and beautifully performed.
Our media team had a blast watching this year's show, and we can't wait to see what else the dramatic production class has to offer.
Thanks, Nate. Next up, Talia was able to cook with our school's recipe club president. Let's see how that went.
Recently, I was able to meet with the president and secretary of our school's recipe club, and they showed me how to make delicious kimchi fried rice. The ingredients we used are rice seasoning, vegetable oil, soy sauce, sesame oil, egg, butter, and kimchi. The first thing you want to do is put vegetable oil in your rice pan. Then you want to put your kimchi in the pan and let it cook until fragrant. We then buttered a second pan and used that pan to fry some eggs. We used microwavable rice, so we were able to throw that in with the kimchi and mix them together. We chopped up some scallions, topped the rice, and it was delicious. If you want to try more of these amazing recipes, make sure you come to Recipe Club.
Thanks, Talia. Remember to check out the Recipe Club in room C2. Next up, we have Alexis with a look at the chorus line.
Chorus line is about 16 different cut dancers that try to make it to the final 8, and they're like begging to be in the show by this guy named Zach. They really try to please him in like any way they can by showing their best skills, and the rehearsal process is very vigorous, a bunch of dancing, and it's just so amazing production, how much work we put in. And I think every dancer is like unique and special to their own character, and it really just shows like who should be in the show, who shouldn't be in the show, but everybody is like, this is their moment, they need to shine.
Thanks, Alexis. Now, if you're wondering what your next elective should be, here's Keegan with some information about the ceramics class.
I headed down to the ceramics room to get a tour from a student who's passionate about the elective.
Welcome to ceramics, and we're going to go on a tour. These are the wheels where the potters will be throwing stuff. There's Mr. Striker. Looks like he's making a snake, showing you how to make some eyeballs. So this is the damp room, where we'll keep all the pieces that we make on the wheel before we trim them and while we're still working on them. This is one of my favorite stations, the wedging. So if your clay's a little too wet, you'll go and you'll wedge it like this. Have to work all the powder through the clay to make it drier. Then we got a bunch more supplies where we do a bunch of different projects. There's different tools for different things. We've got our glazes right here where we have all the different colors that you can put on your pieces, and then it'll get fired so that it will change color. This is all the bisqueware, which has been fired one time, and then it'll go through a second firing to turn into glass, because it's really fragile right now. And outside we got the kilns. So the high fire kiln is for the heavier stuff in the back. Got the low fire kilns that turn all of our clay into bisqueware, and then you also use the low fire kilns for low fire glazes. That's the ceramics room.
Thanks, Keegs. Last but certainly not least, we have your favorite segment of all time.
Typically on HB Bites, we take you to somewhere new. Today, we thought it'd be fun to show you a true Huntington landmark restaurant, Mario's at 5 Points Plaza. The Mario's brand began in 1969 when Mario and Consuelo Valenzuela started their own business as a hamburger stand. Just 4 years later, the family were able to open their flagship restaurant at 5 Points Plaza. For the last 50 years, Mario's has been serving up authentic Mexican recipes and bringing the community together with their fun and welcoming atmosphere. If you've never been to Mario's, it's high time you gave it a try. Don't forget to take a lollipop on your way out.
Thanks, Spiders. Well, that's all we have for you today. See you next week on Campus Update.